Hello again, it's Jonathan at the Piano Lesson. Welcome back. And every lesson is actually a lesson for me. I'm actually learning, and I'm sharing that process with you because I'm always learning. And there's so much to know. There's just so much to know. So I came across what I thought was a simple tune, sure, and it wasn't so simple when you really get into it. But this tune is called Afro Blue, and Afro Blue is written by Mongo Santamaria, who is a great Cuban percussionist and band leader. His claim to one of his most famous recordings was a recording of Herbie Hancock's Watermelon Man. And though I seem to recall that Watermelon Man may have been written by someone else, it said it was written by Herbie Hancock. But there are other renditions of Watermelon Man, different renditions, so I'm not 100% sure. That's another subject. But anyway, I came across this tune in the real book, thinking that, oh, this would be a good song to share and to teach people because it's fairly simple. But, they're always deceptively simple. And as I got into the music, as is so often the case, the chords were wrong and even the key was wrong. So part of the reason I don't show you any music is because I'm hoping that you'll do some of your own research and look up the music. But if you did look up the music, and if I did show you what most people typically look at in the real book, it would be completely wrong. The key is wrong. They have it in F minor. It's actually written in D minor. This is one of those problems when you go on gigs. People are using now I think it's the iReal book, and that's just filled with errors. Just so many more errors than the real book had. Although it's still useful, right? But you just have to be really careful. So. And the tune is in 3, so it's less common to find a song in 3/4 than 4/4. But usually when we see a song that's in 3, we think, jazz waltz. No, not the case here, not the case here. So it would be a good idea to listen to the original recording. And it's also a good excuse to practice primary chords in our keys. So this song, Afro Blue, is in the key of D minor, right? And what are the primary chords in the key of D minor? Well, we got D minor, that's 1, right? And G minor, that's 4. Notice I'm using the lower case. And A, or A7, and that's 5 or 5/7. So those are the primary chords. 1, 4, 1, 5, 7, 1. Those were in inversions, root position, right? So it's important we do all our chords, all our inversions of each chord. G minor, first, second, root position, first inversion, second inversion. Or if we're doing 7 chords, root position, first inversion, second inversion, third inversion. And then we learn how to play those chords so that we don't have to play them habitually in root position. We can use voice leading. That's second inversion G minor. Common tone is D. That's first inversion A major. Common tone is A. And then there's a couple other chords in the song. There's a B flat, that's kind of interesting, and there's a C. Now, how does the B flat and the C get into a song? And what's the key signature of the key signature of D minor is 1 flat, right? B flat is 1 flat, but typically we use the harmonic minor scale. That's the raised 7th. Only when we play the A, only when we play the 5 chord. Otherwise, it's natural. This is the natural minor, right? And then if we're making melodies, we use the melodic minor often, but not in this case. This case is more that sound. So that's the first cadence, right? The word cadence, just a chord pattern, okay? Just really a chord pattern. And that 1, 1, 4, 5. But then we also have this kind of Spanish sounding pattern: D, C, B flat, A. D minor, C, B flat, and A, right? And those are diatonic to the D minor scale, right? And it's kind of a combination of the two. So we're going to be using, let's call this, right, 1, flat 7, and or just 7, depending on how you look at it, if you know, but 6, and then 5. And let's just call it a Spanish, kind of a Spanish cadence. So the melody, and again, the melody is wrong in the real book, so don't listen to the real book. But if you listen to the recording, that's it. And then, and that's anticipated. All right, that's actually comes in a little early before count 1. So what are the chords? D minor, G minor, and then A. That's the whole tune. Right? And again, if you listen to the recording, the first time they play that, I'm not exactly sure what the bass player is playing. I don't really hear a clear G, but it's something. Maybe he's doing that. I'm not precisely sure. You can listen to it, but for practical purposes, it's 1, 4, 5. 1, 4, 5. And if we play this, right, that's a raised fifth. It's not really that. Probably not, right? Right? So again, these are the subtleties that you have to observe, you have to listen to. You're never going to find them in a fake book. You know, you're just not gonna. So, but safely say D minor, G minor, A7 sharp 5. Again, why A7 sharp 5? Because that and the G. So if you want to play the right chord, now they don't actually play that sophisticated a chord. They actually, the bass player just does this. He just plays the triad. And it works. There's some strange dissonances that I hear when he plays this together, the D together with the C. It doesn't quite work, but that's what it is. Now, there's another melody. We'll try to remember it. There's a second melody, but let's just start with that one, okay? So, and it's 3 counts. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, C. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now I told you anticipate that, but 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 3, and that sounds more like it. Okay, now when you're learning a tune, it's better just to learn the bass line to start with. Or you could outline it. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The bass player doesn't play all the quarter notes, but that's a good exercise. Or on count 1, I'm putting the root of the chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so I'm hearing the root of the chord. That kind of clarifies things a bit. And then the C. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'll do that again. That's it. That's all it is. So how does that work out in terms of measures? D minor, G minor, A, 7, sharp 5, but just A would be good. D minor, and then you repeat that. Okay, so we repeat that. Da da, dee da da, dee da da, and then the bridge. C. And if you want to write out a song, this is kind of how you can just sketch it out. C, C. Or you could just write, if you don't want to write, if it's the same chord, you don't want to write the same chord again, you could do this. That's a repeat sign. That's another way to do it. B flat, D minor, and that repeats. That's a repeat sign. Double, 2 thin lines and 2 dots on either side. So that's your repeat sign. And that's the whole tune. That's Afro Blue in the right key, okay? I'm trying to remember what the second melody is. Something like this. Oh yeah, that's it. Something like that. You listen to the recording, you can get the second half of that. Or maybe I can just do that right now and just kind of refresh my memory. Let's see here. Just take a second. Oh, that's it. Yeah. That's it. It's slightly different the second time. That's it. It's the same thing. 1, 4, 5, 1. That's the whole thing. So you learn the melody separately, then the bass line together with the melody. And maybe you can have a beat. That looks easier than it is, just to keep that beat in the left hand, and then maybe. Excuse me. Just doing block chords. So just keeping that beat, and I'm changing the melody ever so slightly when I do that, but you know. Now, in terms of making it sound like music, in terms of making it, you know, there's a lot of percussion that's going on in the recording. And so if you can if you can find someone that plays percussion, if you can find someone, or you know, get a backing track that has some kind of a, you know, more of a kind of an Afro-Cuban feel with congas and things like that. To getting that feel on the piano by yourself is a little tricky. Not impossible. I mean, not impossible. You can. There's certainly a little more involved in it. Now, I could play it like a jazz waltz. That's a jazz waltz. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. But it's not really in keeping with the style of the music. But you see how just finding a tune in the real book can be so misleading. I didn't want to play what's in the real book because it's just completely different. And I'm sure people have changed it on, you know, in recordings on YouTube. Now, this is a good tune to also transpose with it. You know, when you learn a tune, be brave and try to branch out a bit. Try it in some other keys. Okay, this is a fun way to do it. So we did it in D minor. What would be the next logical key? Well, maybe up a fifth or down a fifth, or just something that you think is easy for you. Okay, but let's just go through some of those other keys. So if we went up a fifth, let's just say, all right, so up a fifth from D is A, all right, so the primary chords would be A minor, D minor, and E major, or E7 sharp 5, right, maybe, but that's the primary chords in the key of A minor. And then the flat 6, flat 7, right, all of those, you know, those happen to be all white keys. So A minor, G major, F major, and then E major. Now, the melody goes up a fifth, and then up a fifth, outlines that triad tonic of the chord, and then the melody itself, you could just think of it as being part of the A minor scale, or that's the 7th of the E chord. And then the bridge, so you're stepping down, root of the chord, up a third. It doesn't go down like that, you know, that would be a different style of music. Right? So that's A minor. How about down a fifth from D? Well, down a fifth from D is G. So G minor would be 1, C minor would be 4, and D would be 5, or D7 sharp 5, however you want to look at that. But that's the primary chords in the key of G minor. And then you would be looking at G minor, right? That's kind of Spanish cadence. We're calling it F, E flat, and D. I played the wrong note there. I played a B natural instead of a B flat. It's B flat, right? We're in the key of G minor. That's natural minor. That's harmonic minor. And again, we need the D. We need the F sharp for the D major, right? D. There we go. F, E flat, right? So that's three keys that we did it in, right? Maybe we'd go up a fifth again, or down a fifth. I don't know. What do you want to do it in? E is a good key for guitar players. C minor is just kind of a nice minor key. Hit C minor. Or E minor. It's really good to have that flexibility where you can change keys. So C minor, F minor, G is the primary chord, and C minor, B flat, A flat, and G, right? That scale, C, B flat, A flat, G, that's a Phrygian mode there, okay? There's your half step. This is a perfect fourth. And then you have the sharp 5 chord. See, in G7 sharp 5, that would be a D sharp, G, B, D sharp, F. You could say flat 13. The C minor chord, it would be E flat. That's where the spelling gets a little sticky. And then B flat, A flat, C minor. And E minor. And then your sharp 5. That's it. Again, that's the third of the E minor chord. Or it would be B, D, F sharp, F double sharp, if it's a sharp 5. So that's a little awkward, but I'll do it again. And then D, C, and then D. It does it again. Okay, so I hope that gives you a little taste of transposing. Let's see, how many keys did we do it in so far? Maybe we'll do just a couple more. We did it in D. We went up a fifth to A, to E. We went down to G, and then down to C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think F, let's go from C to F. That F minor is probably a more common key than B minor. So let's do that. F minor is 1, B flat minor is 4, and C is 5. And then for the cadence, F minor, E flat, D flat, and C, okay? And then kind of like an F minor, stepping down. a nice sound. I like it in F minor on the piano. I like that. I like. Now that's the key that's in the real book. You might like it in F minor. You know, again, just have some fun. If you play a wrong note, who cares? It's just music. You're not going to hurt anything, right? So, but you'll learn. So, two different sets of cadences in the same song kind of makes it interesting. Alrighty, I guess we kind of ran out of time, but that was fun, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jonathan at the Piano Lesson. Drop me a line, post something on my YouTube channel, send me an email, send me a carrier pigeon. Remember carrier pigeons? Okay, bye-bye.